What's good, sports fanatics? Before we dive in, I want you to imagine this. You're Manchester United. You've spent £270 million on 3 new attacking signings. You're facing a fourth-tier team whose entire stadium holds fewer people than your training ground cafeteria. You should be cruising to victory, right? Right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Because yesterday, Manchester United didn't just lose to Grimsby Town, they got absolutely demolished in the most spectacular fashion possible. I'm talking about a penalty shootout that lasted longer than most Marvel movies, a goalkeeper having an absolute mare, and £200 million worth of attacking talent choking harder than someone trying to swallow a bowling ball. Stick around because this story has more plot twists than a Christopher Nolan film. And trust me, you do not want to miss how this beautiful disaster unfolded. Last season. They finished 15th in the Premier League. 15th! That's not just bad, that's maybe we should try a different sport bad. So when Ruben Amorim's boys rolled up to this tiny stadium with their fancy bus and designer boots, they probably thought this would be easier than ordering takeout. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Now, if you thought United would come out swinging like the expensive thoroughbreds they're supposed to be, you'd be wrong again. Because within minutes, Charles Vernam, and I'm not making this name up, puts Grimsby in the lead. But wait, it gets better, or worse depending on which team you support. Enter Andre Onana, United's goalkeeper who's been making more errors than a drunk person trying to text their ex at 3 a.m. This man who gets paid more in a week than most people make in a year decides to gift wrap another goal for Grimsby. Tyrell Warren, a United Pruthuk product because of course it is, capitalizes on Onana's latest brain fade to make it 2-0. Let me paint you a picture. 45 minutes in, and Manchester United, with their £250 million attack, are getting schooled by a team that probably carpools to training. The theater of dreams? More like the theater of nightmares. But surely the second half would be different, right? These are professional athletes. They get paid obscene amounts of money to not get embarrassed by part-time footballers. Second half kicks off, and you can almost hear Amorim in the dressing room. Lads, we're Manchester United. We don't lose to teams whose players have day jobs. And for a moment, just a moment, it looked like the expensive cavalry might save the day. Grimsby had chances to put this game to bed completely. They could have been 3-4, maybe even 5-0 up, but they didn't, and that's when United's survival instincts finally kicked in. Enter Brian Mbeumo and Harry Maguire. Yes, that same Harry Maguire who's been a meme for 3 years running. These two somehow managed to drag United back from the brink with late goals to make it 2-2. Now, normal teams would think, phew, we dodged a bullet there, let's finish the job in extra time. But Manchester United aren't normal, are they? Oh no, they're special. Because instead of putting this game away like any self-respecting Premier League team should, they decided to take us all on the most entertaining penalty shootout journey since, well, ever. And that's where this story goes from embarrassing to absolutely legendary. Folks, I've seen some penalty shootouts in my time, but this was something else entirely. We're talking about a shootout that went 12-11. 12-11! That's 23 penalties. I've seen entire matches with fewer shots on target. Picture this chaos. Onana, who'd already had a shocker of a game, actually saves one from new signing Clark Odoer. For a split second, United fans probably thought maybe, just maybe, our goalkeeper isn't completely cursed. Then, Matheus Cunha, part of that £270 million attack, steps up with the chance to be the hero, to save face, to rescue his team's dignity, and he blows it. His penalty was weaker than a politician's apology. But wait, there's more. The shootout keeps going, and going, and going. Both teams trading penalties like they're exchanging Christmas cards. The tension is unbearable, Grimsby fans are losing their minds, United fans are having existential crises. And then, in the most poetic justice you could script, Brian Mbeumo, the same man who scored United's first comeback goal, steps up for the decisive penalty and thumps it off the crossbar. Boom! Game over. Grimsby Town have just pulled off the upset of the century. The fans storm the pitch, grown men are crying, Grimsby players are running around like they've just won the World Cup, and they should be because they've just achieved footballing immortality. Now, let me put this into perspective for you, because this isn't just any old upset. This is history in the making. This is the first time in Manchester United's entire existence that they've been eliminated from a cup competition by a fourth-tier team. The last time United lost to a team this low in the football pyramid was in 1914. 1914! That's over a century ago, back when people thought flying was impossible and the Titanic was considered unsinkable. This result is so bad, it makes that 4-0 loss to MK Dons in 2014 look like a minor inconvenience. At least MK Dons were 3rd tier, Grimsby are 4th tier. These are semi-professional players who probably have to Google how to mark Mason Mount before the game. And the cherry on top of this disaster Sunday, Ruben Amorim now has just 16 wins from 44 matches in charge. That's a win rate that would make a coin flip jealous. At this point, United might have better luck with the magic 8-ball making tactical decisions. But you know what? Sometimes football gives us these beautiful moments of chaos that remind us why we love this ridiculous sport. Look, sports fans, this is why we watch football. Not for the predictable victories where the boring 1.0 wins, but for moments like this, for absolute chaos, for David slaying Goliath with a slingshot made of pure determination and a penalty shootout that lasted longer than some Netflix episodes. Grimsby Town will be dining out on this story for the next 50 years. Charles Vernam and the boys have just written their names in football folklore. And Manchester United, well, they've just provided us with enough meme material to last until the Ice Age. But I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Chaos celebrating this beautiful upset, or are you a United fan crying into your replica jersey? What's the biggest sporting upset you've ever witnessed? And be honest, how many of you had absolutely no idea where Grimsby even was before tonight? Smash that like button if this beautiful disaster made your day. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because trust me, if this season is starting like this, we're in for a wild ride. Share this video with every football fan you know. They need to see this madness. Until next time, keep watching the beautiful game because you never know when football is going to serve up another helping of pure, unfiltered chaos. I'm your host, and remember, in football, anything can happen. Anything. Peace out, sports fanatics.